Good morning and welcome to my enameling class. This morning we are going to see if we can clean out this kiln because it's looking pretty bad. If you can see that, it's full of enamel that's dropped off. So we're going to try and sort that out, and I'll do a close-up of this, but thank you for coming to the class. Okay, sadly kilns do not clean themselves, and all of that dirt is that's literally just enamel that has come off. And what we need to do is actually I end up having to use various things like files to take all of this off. So that's I'm going to show you. I'm going to use a file, take some of that off, and then I'll show you how to put what's called Batwash or kiln wash onto your kiln to save the surface, because what you don't want is to chip all this off and then have a really uneven surface, because that will just cause your stuff to fall over. So don't worry about it. It's just a bit of a pain in the neck to do, but you do need to maintain your kiln because they're expensive things. So you just don't want it getting really gunged up with enamel. I teach classes at my workshop, and so often at the end of the week there's a lot of enamel piled up, and so I need to just get down to the dirty job of cleaning it out. Okay, let me get my file. Okay, it is literally a matter of scraping these off. The reason why that's coming off quite easily is because I do the bat wash. I apply this bat wash or kiln wash probably a couple of times a month, and one of the reasons for that is obviously it's to save the floor of your kiln, but also it comes off with this enamel on it. So it comes off quite easily. If you don't do it frequently, you'll end up with huge chunks of enamel, and it's really difficult to get that off. So do it, and try to remember to do it obviously when the kiln is very cool. It takes a long time for kilns to go cold, especially if they've been up at 700 or 800 degrees. So what I usually do is finish enameling and then remember to come in the morning when everything is cool, and then just start this again. And then just clean off my kiln floor. So basically that's it. I'm gonna just continue working away on that. It shouldn't take much longer, and then I'll show you the bat wash and how to apply it. Okay, here we are. Here is our bat wash. Alumina bat wash. This is Milton Bridge. That's where I buy most of my enamels from. I'm sure you can get it in Thompson Enamels in the States. It's powdered. I just have a little plastic cup here, which it's good if you have a lid for these things. I do have lids somewhere. I'm going to pour some in. I'm going to empty this because actually I have finished that jar. And I don't know if anybody else finds, but I find when I'm adding water stuff, I often put too much water in. So I actually use one of these sprayers. And then I use to stir. I bought a packet of these are basically tongue depressors that they use in doctors' surgeries to press your tongue down. You can get the packages of them in craft shops and that kind of thing. Children use them a lot. That's too thick. We kind of want it like cream, not whipped cream, but regular pouring cream. I think that's pretty good. A little bit more maybe. So mix it up till it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to just use an old paintbrush of some kind to apply it. Again, don't use good paintbrushes for things like this. You can get cheap ones and it doesn't matter. So I think that's probably a pretty good consistency, and then we'll paint it on. Okay, let me see now. I'll get painting. And I've got a big light. I've got this camera and the light in the way, so I hope I don't slurp it all over the place. But you literally paint it on like that. It doesn't have to look good, it just has to be functional. And I think I'm going to probably need a lot more than I mixed up, but that's fine. Do it around the edges here. My kiln has been in action for about 10 years, so it's got a few dents over the years. I mean, you could pour this in. In fact, I might just pour some of this in and see if I can get this done a bit faster. But I think you get the picture. It's quite nice and thick. And you just smooth it out and then leave it to dry. I believe you're not supposed to put the kiln on to dry it, but I do frequently if I need the kiln. So anyhow, that's basically what you do. You don't have to put any in the back wall. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this, and then I'll show you the results when I'm finished. Okay, here's my lovely newly bat-washed kiln. You can see it needs to dry, but it's looking good. It's smooth, and that little sort of black thing in the top left corner, that's the probe that takes the temperature to make sure it stays relatively constant.